All right. Last 3 more miles and woo, it is a little chilly this morning, you know, but I got like less than 2 more miles to go. But it's easy. That's in my meditative jog this morning. As you can see, I'm trying to move faster. You know, just gotta slow it down. Let me just put the camera to what I always do. That way I can put my gloves on, you know, and just continue to enjoy this, you know. So yes, I broke my fast. Oh, I'm feeling wonderful too, you know. I haven't eaten anything since 4:30 yesterday evening, and you know, I just snack on the banana right now at about that mile 10, and it's really amazing, the whole thing behind veganism and fasting. You know, like you get to clean your system out a lot. So this is the first thing I've ate since 4:30 yesterday, and I'm enjoying this beauty right here, like right here in nature. You know, I'm just pointing the camera everywhere, and it is just amazing. And like I was saying earlier about while I was at the shelter, due to lack of not knowing, people did not understand me being vegan. You know, I literally ate the most expensive food while I was at the shelter. You know, I know I got a kick out of people rushing to Google my food and trying to cook it, and I just could not believe it. And I think it's because of what we don't know. And I think at that time too is due to the fact that I was vegan, I was meditating, I was doing yoga, you know, I was getting up every day. I think I was running about 180 miles at the time. You know, that's what I was doing. Yeah, I was doing close to 200 miles a week, and I never felt better. I was so high, like I'm always right now. I see life differently, and I think a lot of people just did not know how to handle it, especially because I don't want to use this word, but people who don't eat the way I do cannot fathom that I will be in that situation and not be crying and be on drugs. And it just didn't work out because I still had my dignity and I wasn't begful, you know, and I'm going to use this language, it pissed. And I'm spelling all this with a capital letter, you know, and every single one of these people that I had this issue with, I look at it to be, we don't eat the same way. That was just the straight up answer, because we were not eating the same way. And I'm talking about all the volunteers that were trying to help, because we were not eating the same way. There was a big clash of head. It pissed them off that this guy lives here in the shelter and he's not begging, he is not down on his luck, he doesn't wake up to be sad, and pretty much I'm looking at it that I'm living the best days of my life, and that is just because of the way I eat. It pissed every one of them up, you know. And I always look at it because it's so funny, because every time I go into these shelters, you know, while I was at the shelter anyway, and as much, you know, they're trying their best, but the thing is, a lot of, when you go into more shelters, there is nothing, especially here in Atlanta, but a lot of African American women, overweight African American women, working at the shelter. And while at the shelter, when you look at half of the population in there, is nothing but a lot of black men. And when these black women are working with a lot of these black men, a lot of them, even though they put on their makeup, they look beautiful, beautiful, they are still suffering from their own abuse at home. So every time they're coming into the shelter, They carry that, they wear that anger, the way they treat you. They don't know how to deal with you. So I clash heads with every one of them because I can see through them. Because like I said, when I was at the shelter, because everyone always talk about mental illness. When I was at the shelter, I'm going to say it out loud like everyone else. I have a PhD in freakiology, chasing women, sex. It's all we all grew up with. But when I was in the shelter, and after many years of reading and meditating, I was celibate when I was in the shelter. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't smoking. And I was vegan. And because of those lifestyle, my thinking was different from a lot of people. Most of the guys in the shelter, some of them were still sleeping around. Some of them would sneak out to smoke and drink. And the volunteers will come in there and drink, smoke, and act like everything is okay. So we were not getting anything done. And I'm sad to say this on the social media because we talk about so much how we want to help mental illness. But the help for mental illness actually comes from what we eat. We cannot do anything about mental illness if we are still eating the same way we eat at this moment. And it's really funny is the fact that as a guy running and talking about this, fasting and meditating, people don't understand it because during this time that we have, especially with this disease going on, the impact is even more on the people who don't have a place to stay. Because right now we're acting as if everyone is not homeless, has a place to stay. So it's pretty much right now, the homeless are forgotten. So the people in the hospital, are mad at, but the homeless are forgotten. No one is talking about the brothers on the street or the sisters on the street right now who don't have a place to stay. Because how are they dealing with this virus? How are they dealing with this situation? And I think if we truly want to heal this, maybe it's about time we let our paramedic drive around. And anytime you see a homeless person on the street, we should start giving them some vaccine because we know they are on the street. And I'm just saying that I saw another brother this morning sleeping at the bus stop. And I know everybody just drove past him. And that's the key to mental illness. It's what you eat. You can read about it, which a lot of people do. You study, psychology. That's easy, but you got to practice it. And like I said, while I was at the shelter, I felt so wealthy. I was just extremely at peace with myself. And I never take offense to the volunteers. I will call it foolishness, and I'm saying it. Let me put the camera in my face. I never, bow to all the volunteers' foolishness because I'm saying this with a full face too. Like I don't care because I was looking at it to be like, you know what? They eat meat, I don't, so we're gonna have misunderstanding. That was just it for me. I wasn't trying to be rude when I was there, but I'm just looking at it. The fact that you eat those flesh, I don't think I need to be listening to you right now. And that's how I was able to live in the shelter. And I wasn't moved by it. But it really taught me a lot, because I realized there's a lot of things that we don't know, but we act like we know. So, and I'm saying this not because I want anyone to become vegan or anything like that. I'm just saying this. If you were thinking of going on this diet, it is time. And like I always say to people, homelessness is in the mind. Every day that I wake up, I feel so wealthy, like rich, every single morning. Look at this beautiful waterfall right here. I'm pointing the camera to it. And talking about enlightenment, I'm on chapter 5 right now. Because when you truly become wealthy, you don't need money. And I'm saying that, big up respect to the one and only Russell Simmons. Because when you reach, when you read Super Rich, super rich, super wealthy, whatever that book is, he's talking about me. And I see a lot of comment that how can you do this when you don't have money? I kid you not. When you truly find that peace, when you find God, like the religious people will say, it doesn't matter what situation you are in, you will always going to have what you need. And I'm going to leave it like that this morning. Let me continue this run. And I'm just saying it, like I said, it was a big tangle. And I think mental health right now, if we truly serious about mental health, it is about time we started talking to the people that actually live that lifestyle. And no offense to no one, no offense. I'm just saying it's because we don't know. If you are overeating, it is absolutely impossible for you to understand the thing behind mental illness, because you're not balanced yourself. And if we truly want to help these people, so if you see a homeless person on the street this morning, whatever vaccine, whatever you could get for him for this moment, let us all come together. Let us start helping them. The homeless are forgotten right now. We act like we don't have a shelters, but there's a lot of people who are homeless in the shelter. And I think maybe it's the time the government started driving around the street and giving these people free vaccine so that this thing will not spread. If we hide in our houses for this disease, what about the people who are on the street homeless? I'm going to say one love. And golly, I love this life, Let me finish this easy 30-mile meditative jog. And I'm going to say, I share one love. Oh, by the way, I'm taking donation for these cars. If you feel super wealthy and you just want to buy me one of these, I'll send you my cash app. Alrighty, I share.